Hi everyone, welcome back to day 3 of my beginner series. Yesterday we covered Sun Salutation A, Sun A, also known as Surya Namaskar A in Sanskrit. And today we're covering Surya Namaskar B, Sun Salutation B. So if you are just watching this, oftentimes it seems pretty easy. And when you actually do it, you may find yourself discouraged that it's quite more difficult than what you anticipated it would be. And I just want to remind you, please don't get discouraged. Yoga is supposed to be challenging. It is supposed to help you get comfortable with discomfort. So embrace that and don't get discouraged. Don't throw the towel in too quickly. Be kind and compassionate. And then as long as you're consistent and you keep trying, that's what matters. That's what counts. I used yoga to lose weight and get in shape after having children. If you're looking to get your body back, this series is for you. This video is a part of my 14-day primer designed for beginners to help you prepare for my more powerful, more challenging Get Your Body Back program. All right, as you're ready, we're just gonna start at the top of our mat in Tadasana, mountain pose. So again, we want to bring our feet about hip distance apart. And before we really start moving, we're just going to center ourselves here in Tadasana. So again, you're welcome to bring your arms alongside your body, palms out, fingers nice and wide, standing nice and tall. Or you can bring your hands together in front of your heart, palms pressing together, thumbs pressed against your sternum. Make sure your feet are pressing evenly into the ground, all 4 corners of your feet, finding that steadiness, that balance between effort and ease. Your knees are slightly bent, a micro bend in the knees. Belly's pulling in towards the spine, engaging the core. Your shoulders drop down, shoulder blades together on the back. Crown of the head is lifted, and your chin is very slightly tucked towards your chest to lengthen and elongate the back of your neck, feeling your neck as an extension of your spine. So I invite you to close your eyes if you feel comfortable and really begin dropping in, noticing physical sensation in your body. Notice how you're feeling right now physically. If you're feeling any pain, any tightness, soreness anywhere, take notice of that without trying to change anything, without judging yourself. We're just observing right now. And then after you scan your physical body, turn your attention to your mental and emotional state. How are you feeling today? How has life been going for you lately? Again, there's no right or wrong. We're just taking notice, getting a baseline. And then finally, turn your attention to your breath and your heartbeat. Notice the quality of your breath and the speed of your heartbeat without trying to manipulate. And then gradually begin deepening your breath, cultivating the Ujjayi breath, a deep diaphragmatic breath in and out through the nose, letting your exhale be slightly longer than your inhales, and your exhales are audible. Kind of like fogging up a mirror, but with your mouth closed. It's also called the oceanic breath. So a couple more deep breaths here. Inhale through the nose. And full exhale out through the nose. One more time, inhale. And exhale. All right, from here, we are going to go into the quintessential pose of Sun B, which is called chair pose or Utkatasana. So we're just going to bring the arms out in front of us, bend the knees, and then start lowering the hips like you're sitting in a chair, or rather a small chair, like a kindergartner or preschooler's chair. When you look down, make sure you still see your toes. Now your feet can be about hip distance apart, your feet and your knees. Or if you prefer, you can bring your feet and your knees together to touch. Whatever feels more comfortable for you. So sink the hips, make sure you can still see your toes when you look down, and then pull the belly button in towards the spine, lift up through the heart. Now you may already start to notice that you're struggling. Maybe your heart is beating a little bit faster. Maybe you feel a little bit out of breath. I know I do. And that's totally fine. That means you're exactly where you're supposed to be. This is supposed to be challenging. This is also called awkward pose, by the way. And you can probably tell why. So pull the belly in, sink the hips, lift up through the heart, your palms facing each other or the back of the room. And then fix your gaze on something in front of you. It's called engaging your drishti. It's a focus point where you can stare, breathe, and concentrate. Ideally, it's something that doesn't move. It could be like a speck of dust on the wall or just any tiny little thing that can help you with your concentration and endurance. Keep breathing. And then with your exhale, gently fold forward to release. And then if your feet and your knees were together, you can bring them back apart about hip distance. And let your head shake no, nod a yes. And then you can grab opposite elbows, gently sway side to side. We're just taking our time as we go through it the first round, and then we're going to slowly pick up the pace as we progress. So again, allowing our body to get used to each pose, each posture, so we don't shock our body and we don't aggravate injuries. As you're ready, bring your hands to your shins and take a half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Shoulders pull back away from the ears, lengthening the spine. And exhale, fold back into your Uttanasana. So there's a difference between Uttanasana, which is your forward fold, and Utkatasana, which is the chair pose we just did. And then as you're ready, plant your hands. Step your feet back into a plank, the top of a push-up. And again, if you need to lower your knees to the ground, you can. And we're going to roll through our Chaturanga Dandasana, our 4-point staff pose. Rock forward onto your tiptoes, reaching your head a little bit closer in front of you, and then lower down, slowly taking your Chaturanga. Halfway down, if you're going into upward facing dog, lifting the heart, staying on the backs of the feet, and palms pressing into the ground. And with the exhale, going back into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Deep breaths here, allowing your body to settle into it, pedaling one foot down and then the other, keeping the weight out of the wrists, pushing down through the base knuckles of your fingers. Again, a little suction cup action underneath the palms. Neck is nice and long, shoulders are away from the ears. And I know, again, this can sound like a lot to think about, but if you keep coming back and if you stay consistent and you stay committed, I promise you, it will click. I know how you feel. I felt the same exact way when I started practicing yoga. I had no idea what was going on and it was quite overwhelming, but for one day, for me, it just clicked. So as you're ready, we're going to inhale the right leg up. And with the exhale, we're going to step the foot in between the hands. And if you can't get it all in one swoop, it's okay. You can just shimmy your foot until it reaches in between the hands. And then we're going to plant the back foot, turned in about 45 degrees. So the sole of the back foot is planted. And as you inhale, we're going to lift up into a warrior one. So here we are in our warrior one with the back foot planted, about 45 degrees turned in. And you really want to, it's going to probably feel uncomfortable, especially if you've never done this before, but you really want to figure out how to make this a little more accommodating to your body. So if you need to move your right foot over a little to the right and your left to the left, feel free to do that. Take your time to get into this pose. Ideally, the back foot is going to be planted on the ground and turned in a little bit. And then we're going to bring the hands to the hips and pull the right hip back slightly and the left hip forward. So this pose has never been one that I've liked very much. It really feels awkward in my body. And I have mentioned before, oftentimes the things that we don't like or that we resist or find extra challenging are the things that we often need the most in our lives. So I try to do warrior one even if I don't want to, just so I can get better at it. And then who knows, one day I may like it. So as you're ready, you have your hips positioned. Pull that belly in and engage your core muscles. And with the inhale, we're gonna lift the arms up. So nice deep lunge into the right leg. Make sure your shoulders are down, away from the ears. Don't let your shoulders creep up. So down, belly's engaged. Lift your heart and breathe. And then again, if you feel yourself distracted or irritated or struggling, see if you can find a little bit of softness and use your breath and your gaze to help you. So deep inhale and full exhale. So this is a pretty foundational pose in yoga. Warrior one, Virabhadrasana one. Take one more inhale. And with the exhale, we're gonna bring the hands down. Come to the toes of your left foot. And then step your right foot back. And we're gonna once again roll through our chaturanga, our vinyasa. So rock forward. Exhale to lower down. Inhale for your back bend, your cobra or your upward facing dog. And with the exhale, lift up and back, downward facing dog. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side now. So just take a few deep breaths. If you need to, you can bring your knees down. If you're okay, stay in your downward facing dog. But if you need a break, come into your child's pose, forehead to the ground, and just reconnect with your breath. We're not gonna stay too long though, because we want to kind of keep our heart rate going. We want to kind of stay with the momentum. So as you're ready, inhale the left leg up. As you exhale, step it through. Plant your back foot about 45 degrees turned in, and then inhale, both arms rise. Once again, if you want, you can bring your hands to your hips. Pull the left hip back, right hip forward. You can adjust your feet as you need to. Allow yourself to really get settled into this pose so you can hold it. And you don't want to feel any pain, because if you're in pain, that's when injury can happen. So try to figure out the difference between struggle or discomfort and actual pain. So pull the belly in, engage your core, inhale, arms rise. Take a deep breath in and exhale to settle a little more into the pose. Nice deep lunge into the left leg. One more cycle of breath. Inhale. And as you exhale, bringing the hands down, step your left foot back. And once again, let's roll through the vinyasa, chaturanga. Inhale for your back bend, your cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale into downward facing dog. Just a few cycles of breath here. And then as you're ready, you can either walk your feet back forward, or you can step your left foot into your lunge and then your right foot. And then inhale to lengthen the spine, half lift. Exhale to fold. And then you bend the knees deeply. Bring your chest to your thighs. With your inhale, arms rise back into your chair pose, Utkatasana. Remember, when you look down, make sure you still see your toes. Pull the belly in, sink the hips, lift through the heart. Nice long neck here. Deep breaths. And then with your next inhale, come back to Tadasana, mountain pose. So that was a very traditional Sun B that we just went through. I typically have some type of variation of this. The differentiation of Sun B is you'll usually see a chair pose. You'll usually see it in the very beginning or either beginning and end. So we're gonna go through this a couple more times, and I'm gonna link the breath to the movement. As we inhale, we always expand. As we exhale, we contract. So when you go up, you inhale. When you go down, you exhale. Take your break if you need it. Grab water, towel off. You can pause the video. When you're ready, we'll begin back at the top of the mat. Beginning back at the top of the mat, bringing your feet about hip distance apart, coming into your Tadasana. All right, here we go. Coming into chair pose, feet together or knees apart. Deep breath in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands, step your feet back, and take your vinyasa. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale for your cobra or back bend, your upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, step it through. Plant your back foot. Inhale, rise to warrior one. Exhale to bring it down, step it back. Take your vinyasa, all one exhale. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step it through. Plant your back foot. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, bring your hands down. Step your foot back. Roll through your vinyasa. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. As you're ready, step your left foot forward, then your right. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees deeply, bring your chest to your thighs. Inhale, arms rise for chair pose. And then back to Tadasana. Let's do it one more time together. Starting with chair pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands. Step your feet back. Take your vinyasa. Inhale for your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, step it through. Plant your back foot. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, bring it down. Step it back, vinyasa. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step it through. Plant the back foot. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, bring it down. Step it back, chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. As you're ready, step your left foot forward and then your right, or you can just walk your feet forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, chest to thighs. Inhale, arms rise, chair pose. And back to Tadasana, mountain pose. All right, from Tadasana, we can again slowly lower into our chair pose and play with bringing your hips all the way to the ground. It's a little extra core challenge. If you prefer to just get down however you'd like, please feel free. We're going to end our practice with our Shavasana as usual. So slowly come onto your back. The most important pose, arguably, in yoga, Shavasana. Make sure not to skip it. Bring your toes to the corners of your mat. Let your arms rest alongside your body, palms facing up. Close your eyes. And then lengthen the back of your neck, gently tucking your chin in towards your heart. And then release any lingering tension or resistance in your body. And feeling yourself melt towards the ground. Let your tongue come away from the roof of its mouth. Let your eyes roll to the back of your head. And take rest. Ideally, you want to stay here for about 3 to 5 minutes, so I encourage you to hit pause, maybe set a timer, and let yourself fully experience Shavasana. Let everything that we just did really integrate and settle into your body so you get the maximum benefit of our practice today. And then as you're ready, you can slowly start deepening your breath. You can wiggle your fingers and your toes, letting the awareness gradually come back to your body. And then with your next inhale, reach your arms overhead, point your toes, take a nice luxurious stretch, getting as long as you can. And then as you exhale, bend your knees, wrap your arms around your legs, give yourself a squeeze, a hug, getting as small as you can, and then slowly rock side to side until you find yourself all the way to the left or right side of your body. You can use your arm as a pillow under your head, and then just pause on your side body. Take a moment to become completely present and aware, noticing how different you feel now compared to when you started your practice. Noticing your body temperature, maybe you're sweating. Noticing the temperature of the room, the feeling of the mat under your body supporting you, holding you up. Noticing the sounds around you, feeling completely present. And then as you're ready, you can slowly push yourself back up to a seated cross-legged position. So, day 3's homework assignment. Today, again, I want you to grab that journal and write down what you experienced today. Write down your thoughts. Today, we're going to focus on struggle. So, this was meant to be challenging. Yoga inherently is meant to help us get comfortable with discomfort. So, you may be caught off guard sometimes when you are practicing yoga, and you may feel things come up. Agitation, irritation, anger, sadness. And if you are unaware that these things can come up, it can be very unsettling. I wish I had known some of this. Nobody really prepped me when I first walked into a class. I had no idea what I was doing. I just jumped right in. And it would have been nice to kind of have that heads up that there are going to be things that come up for you. But that's a part of why yoga is so powerful, because it helps us not just build strength on the outside, it helps us build strength on the inside. It helps us be more resilient. It helps us heal through trauma. Sometimes that's unresolved, or sometimes that we're unaware that it's even lying dormant since we were kids. All of the things that we tell ourselves, that we believe about ourselves, the stories we make up in our head that we're not good enough, that we need to achieve certain things to be considered worthy in society. Yoga dismantles all of that, and it makes us aware of our true nature, of our true power that we have inside of us that no one else can control. So that's a lot to think about, but maybe you can jot down some of the emotions that came up for you during today's practice. I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you. Namaste.